morning, YouTube. So we are on week 4 of my deck garden, and I have to say it's doing a fantastic job. We've just had a few blips so far. It's definitely been a learning process of growing all of your vegetables and fruits off of a deck and out of bags. But let's take a look and see what our garden is doing this week. So we just keep our food in these big containers. Keep any varmints that want to get in out. So it's so dark in here. In the afternoons, I just give them alfalfa pellets to snack on since they've had their mixed grain pellets in the morning. Balanced diet keeps them happy and healthy. Are you starving? Move that out a little bit so you can get to it easier. But these are our 3 little Nigerian dwarf goats. We got them when they were 3 weeks old. They're actually still on a bottle, just 1 a day now. About got them weaned. But they are the cutest things and just bring a lot of joy to us. And this, one of our Easter eggers, which was supposed to be a girl, decided it wants to crow now. And we're pretty convinced she is a he. We have 13 chickens total. And 2 were Easter eggers and 1 now is a rooster apparently. So, should make for some interesting chicks later down the road when they start laying. What do you think, Chubbs? Some really pretty coloring. Not sure if you can pick up the greens and the purples, oranges, and even reds in his feathers. This is Smokey, our other Easter egger. They haven't started laying yet, so I'm very, very curious of what color egg she's going to lay when they start. If you have Easter eggers, I would love to see pictures and what color egg are they laying? And that's all they needed. Nice and content now. Just needed that afternoon snack. Baby. Oh, baby. They're good? That's my 2 girls, Nydia and Lila. And this is Mr. Theo. He is a wether. And he should just stay sweet. It's empty. It's all empty. There's nothing left. You want it anyway? You just want to chew on it? Because everything's delicious to goats. Everything must be tasted. Alright, we better get to that garden. And we need to put Blue back to work again. This is our fun LS tractor. Just got her a few months ago and we have put her through her paces, let me tell you that. We have 10 acres of crazy thick brush, thorns, trees and vines, and this brush hog and this tractor can take a beating. One of our favorite things on the farm. Alright, now, garden. Sorry. So this week, you can really see that the corn has flourished. We have so many silks emerging off the corn husks. This one alone has 5 corn cobs forming on it. It's pretty cool. A little tidbit that I learned about corn was that you can't rely on the bees to pollinate for you. So like here, zoom in on these little guys, and they are just doing their job and having a great time. These are helper bees, solitary bees. These are just as beneficial as honeybees, and in fact they can pollinate up to 20 times more than honeybee. But it's not bees really that pollinate corn, it's actually the wind. The wind will blow the corn around and the pollination will fall on the silks. At least in theory, that is what's supposed to happen. But a lot of times you may find, if you've ever opened up a husk of corn and found that some of the kernels didn't even develop, there's just blank spots or small kernels or things like that, that's because the corn did not get pollinated effectively. So to bypass that, we can manually pollinate. For instance, you could come up here, put some pollen on your hand, and then find some silk and put it on the silk itself. And you could do that to each and every one to make sure they thoroughly get pollinated. And it's recommended by a fellow Facebook corn expert to do this for about a week once you see the silks emerging. So that's what I've been doing. And so far, look at this guy. It's looking like he's getting pretty wide and long, so hopefully there's a really good cob developing under that husk. Alright, moving on. We now have a banana pepper emerging. Look at that guy. This is a mixed banana pepper plant, so they should have several different colors from yellow, green, and red. I'm assuming how long you leave them on the plant dictates the color. I'll have to research that, but I think that's how it works. This is also another one, but I don't have any emerging off of this one yet, but we do have flowers, so they're coming. Our corn, or sorry, our carrots. Our carrots are doing a great job. They are just bushing out. They're just a pretty plant in general. Yes, we overseeded and we did that on purpose. We'd seen another YouTuber try that and it worked out successfully for them. So hey, we thought we'd sprinkle some seeds and see what the carrots do. And of course we've got our Brussels sprouts. I don't think they're going to produce this year. They're just not getting very big. I'm surprised they survived at all with all the rain, and then bugs got to them early on in the season. They fought back as best they could, but I am not expecting much out of them. But I will keep them around for as long as they like. And here, finally, remember those Brandywine tomatoes I told you about? We had lost 3 plants. They just up and withered. No explanation really. I don't know what happened. Didn't treat them any differently than the other plants, which are thriving. But one little Brandywine hung in there, and now it's starting to get big, which is great because they're supposed to be huge, juicy, slicing tomatoes, which just sounds fantastic in the summer heat. And here we've got some jalapeno. Not producing anything yet. We've got our summer squash. One down in there, getting ready to be picked. Some more jalapeno, and then all of these tomato plants. And we are finally getting little green tomatoes. I'm very excited about that. Let's take a look here. So here, let's see if we get under there. There we go. Our cherry tomatoes should be binding out. And then we've got some Romas over here. Look at those guys. And then we've got some Matinas over here hanging off the deck. So those will be pretty awesome. We've moved our mixed lettuces over here so they get a little more shade during the day. So lettuce don't like direct heat and sun all day long. Could make them go to seed, and we don't want that. And they're doing really well. Arufa gourd, also thriving. No loofahs yet forming, but it sure is establishing the vine. Then if we move down here down the deck, we've got more summer squash. And this big guy. Ooh, sorry about that. It's definitely ready to be picked. Oh yeah, it just popped right off. Look at that. Delicious. I'm thinking dinner. Got that. But these plants are just doing amazing. And then of course, our garden beans. I don't think you can ever go wrong with garden beans. If you want an easy plant to grow and it comes up fast and produces fast, it's one of the first things it's going to produce in your garden. Then plant some garden beans. And they're delicious in everything. I'll be collecting those very soon. And here we've got our sweet bell peppers. And we've got some flowers in there, but no peppers as of yet. But the plants look great, they're big and healthy. This is the back side of our large bottle gourd. See a little bit off the deck here, how it's vining horizontally. And flowering like crazy. And there's a little gourd there, and a little gourd there, and actually this plant is loaded with them. Our cucumbers. Don't have any forming yet, but they'll be coming. And one of our winter squashes. Got a little one here, you can see. Watermelon. Oh my, is this watermelon really changed in the last week? I think the watermelon now is doubling in size each day. This one started out the size of my thumb, and now, yeah, but it has a long way to go. They can get up to 25 pounds. I'll be curious to see how that vine hangs on when it gets really heavy. More watermelon. See over the side here, the watermelon vining down as well. I'll get a better picture from the ground in a bit. And then over here, we've got more of our winter squash variety. This used to be our mystery plant. We couldn't figure out what we planted, but it was winter squash. So we've got one there that just looks so cool. Love the colors. And we've got one over here. Looks so pretty. Almost too pretty to eat. Almost. And we have our zucchini. And the zucchini, after we picked a few, we've got another one forming way back there. Not sure if you can see it, but it looks pretty healthy. But most of them coming on were just withering right away. They didn't look very healthy. And we just think they just didn't have enough room for their roots here in these bags. Like this plant seemed to have taken a beating. But we will see if it bounces back or not. Sorry about the dog barking. And then our spaghetti squash. This is the back side of it. To get the full impact of the spaghetti squash, we do have to go to the ground. So let's head there now. So the spaghetti squash, as you can see from this side, is just vining out beautifully. Coming down, latching on, and we have some really nice size squashes forming as we speak. This guy's quite big. It's hard for the camera to do it justice. Let's see. We could compare. Could barely reach it. So yeah, good size. Then, again, the watermelon. Look at those. Just look at those. Watermelon just vining down. I cannot reach that one, so can't show you the size, but it's pretty good size now. Getting big every day. And then we've got this long fellow here. And several other little ones forming. You can see maybe that little guy. And then coming around, we have more watermelon. And large bottle gourds. Look at those. They're getting quite large too. They're still moving horizontally across the balusters, but also down to the string trellis that we created a few days ago. And they just look very cool. Here you can see some of the plants that are growing outside of the deck itself. Just love seeing all the green out here. And then of course we have our loofah gourds. That's them there, growing up the top. But again, no flowers or anything, so not sure if they produce late or if they're going to produce at all. But again, all of this has just been one big experiment, and we've been completely impressed with what it's done so far. So again, that is week 4 of our deck garden. We've been really happy with everything that it's been doing, and we're excited to see how much it will produce. I think some plants are doing a lot better than others. I know for next year, there are certain things we would use the bags again for. Maybe the corn for sure, because they are doing the best in those bags. But maybe not the zucchini, because the zucchini seem to, it produced, and it is producing, but not like a normal, not like a regular zucchini plant, because normally, you get a ton of zucchini. It seems like you get so much zucchini, you can't even give enough away. There's just too much. We're not getting that. So I think the roots may not have enough room in there to really get the nutrients that they need and the space that they need. So that may have to go into a raised bed next year or something to that effect, or a bigger container. So I'm excited to see what changes we make and where we move the garden to, because again, we don't plan on putting it back in the ground. After this year of showing how well it can grow in containers, I don't think we're going to consider the ground. Definitely more containers, maybe self-wicking containers, maybe some from projects. We're thinking cutting down some cedars and creating our own raised beds, and just turning part of our yard into a little container garden oasis, something to that effect. Inviting, but also produces and is useful. So best of both worlds. So anyway, if you enjoyed today's content, please hit that like button and hit subscribe so you can be alerted when we, I should say, put out some more videos. We do have some more projects we still have to get underway with, such as the nesting boxes for the chickens, and always things on the property with clearing brush. And we've got a lot of brush to get rid of and burn, and just things like that. But if you would like to follow along on our journey of us learning how to homestead and learning how to develop a farm from scratch, from nothing, then that is exactly what this channel is going to be about. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope to see you on the next one.